Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. This is where I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. And before I get started, I want to say how proud I am to announce that we have all reached 70 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your views. And thank you for the amount of likes that you have been given. I really appreciate that. And as of right now, my top video this year alone was Eddie Kingston and CM Punk. My thoughts on that. That got over 200 views. That is a record. Thank you guys so much for that. Also, I want to thank everyone that has been commenting. Grady Simmons and Mr. Kenneth. Thank you guys so much. Speaking of Kenneth and his compliment, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to check out my review on my top 5 matches between Stone Cold, RVD, and Trish Stratus. And also let me know in the comment section because somebody posted an interesting comment. In a boxing match, an intergendered boxing match, who's your pick? Trish Stratus or Stone Cold Steve Austin? Let me know in that video what you think and what you think about my favorite matches in that. But let's get started with a couple of things with this tonight's episode of AEW Holiday Bash. And like they say in the church, I won't be before you long. I'm just going to go through a couple of things that I found very interesting. The first was an amazing match between Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy. And it was very epic. And I gotta say, AEW, we all know AEW brings out some of the most greatest matches ever. Every single week, you gotta commend those guys because they put a show on for everyone each and every week. Kind of like the golden black days of NXT. Not that I'm saying the colorful 2.0 era of NXT is not good because it is. I just think the original days, and a lot of people may agree that the original days were the most favorable. And maybe if you give these guys time, like I believe Braun Breaker is going to be great and things of that nature. But either way, let's get down to AEW's episode. It was a great match, great epic match between Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy. And what made this match interesting was the conclusion. Near the end of the match, Adam Cole was wrestling with Orange Cassidy, and Bobby Fish, an old ally of his, comes down to the ring to distract the referee during Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy's match. The crowd starts buzzing, and as the crowd is buzzing and rising to their feet to see what the commotion is, Kyle O'Reilly appears from the crowd to attack Orange Cassidy. And notice Kyle O'Reilly has a great head shape, by the way. He didn't shave his head bald, but he's got a good cut. He done trimmed himself down pretty good to get ready to go back to being the undisputed one. Let me see if I'm doing this right. Is this right, ladies and gentlemen? Is this right? Am I doing this right? I don't believe in throwing up gang signs. I'm not that type of person, but I'm just emulating the guys. Funny fact, I'm going to tell you guys something funny. Well, I don't have time for that story right now. I'll tell you another time. But either way, Kyle O'Reilly is officially a part of AEW, and 3/4 of the Undisputed Era is back together again. Now, here's the thing to me. First off, in Kyle O'Reilly's interference, Adam Cole was able to take advantage, getting the victory over Orange Cassidy. During the match, the Young Bucks come to the ring because Adam Cole is also part of a group called All Elite, which consists of himself, the Young Bucks, Kenny Nobies, as they call him, great wrestler by the way, and his theme sounds like a song from Pendulum. Or what? I know Pendulum from the soundtracks of the Need for Speed video games, but either way, his theme song sounds like that. But either way, the Young Bucks come down and they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And Adam Cole walks out with his former buddies, his original buddies from the Undisputed Era. Three-fourths of them are in AEW. Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. The other piece to that puzzle is still in NXT 2.0. Roderick Strong, who is part of a faction of its own, Diamond Mine, is NXT's Cruiserweight Champion. And at New Year's Evil, we're going to see Carmelo Hayes versus Roderick Strong. And I think that one's going to be interesting. But back to AEW, that was shocking. And just when you thought AEW couldn't get more full, the roster seemed so stacked. But yet they found a way to get someone else in. So now we got the Undisputed Era with Kyle, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole. Bye bye. Boom. So that's shocking. Either way, also, the last we saw Kyle O'Reilly, he was sent off in defeat in a match in NXT last week against Von Wagner, a former tag team partner of his. But either way, things have changed now. And I will say this. Obviously, they buried the hatchet from the scripted standpoint, because are we not going to talk about the fact that Adam Cole destroyed Undisputed Era, stabbing Bobby Fish, Roderick, and Kyle O'Reilly at most? But thankfully, that betrayal of the Undisputed Era gave us a lot of great matches between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, and gave us a good theme song for NXT's Kyle O'Reilly. I think that's really cool. But either way, they're back together, and obviously they buried the hatchet. I mean, I don't know if you can trust somebody once they stab you in the back. You stabbed me in the back once. You can't repair that relationship. I don't know. I'm just saying. But they're back together again. What can I say? But let's get to the main event. We have All in Yellow Art FTR, aka The Revival, as they were once known in WE, with MJF, Miz 2.0, against CM Punk, Darby Allin, and The Miz. And noted, that's a blooper. CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin. Bloopers. But either way, you might see that. Warning, I like to have fun on this channel, but you might hear some bloopers sometimes, so bear with me. But either way, it was a great six-man tag match. All in Yellow, MJF and FTR fought with CM Punk, who wore face paint in honor of Sting, Sting, who wore CM Punk's t-shirt in honor of CM Punk, with a little web on Sting's face in honor of Spider-Man. It was a great tag match. And there are a couple of things I want to point out. First and foremost, I gotta hand it to MJF for not being dead after being thrown and landing on a nasty angle as Sting threw him from over the ropes onto FTR, with him landing on the back of his neck. That stuff like that could easily turn into a career-threatening injury. Let's not forget what happened to Droz when he fought with D'Lo Brown on an episode of SmackDown. And it's been taped off of television, but the guy that's being carried out of the arena on the angle that says careers ended in an instant, that's Droz being carried out of the arena, and he has been paralyzed. And I think he lived the rest of his life that way, to my knowledge. If not, I'm so happy. Being paralyzed would totally suck. But he lived that way. He was paralyzed because of that. And so kudos to MJF for not breaking his neck or dying or anything like that. Even though not many people like MJF, because he does a really good job of being a heel. The other thing I want to point out is immediately after falling on his neck and miraculously not dying or hurting himself, can we just point something out? Sting does a crossbody splash onto all three men in yellow. Let me just say something about that real quick. Sting, first of all, let me just start by saying AEW really used Sting amazingly. And as much as I am a WWE fan, I am disappointed that WWE didn't use Sting properly because Sting's record in WWE is 1-2. Unless he had a victory at a taped match that or an untaped match at a WWE live event, he is on screen 1-2. The one victory he has is that when he teamed up with Cena and made Seth Rollins tap out with his partner, The Big Show. The two losses were against Seth Rollins at Night of Champions and Triple H, and I will admit a good match at WrestleMania 31. But AEW has used Sting a lot better. Sting has yet to be pinned. And can we just point out the fact that the man is almost 60, jumping off the apron, jumping off the top rope, not to the ring, but onto the ground? The man is, how old is this man? Let me see. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. He's not almost 60. The man is 60. He is 62 years old. 62 years old. Sting is diving over off the top rope down to the floor onto three grown men. 62. Who you know at 62 years old doing that? Now, Sting really brings the meaning to that chant, "You still got it." But I thought it was an amazing match. I really enjoyed it. But near the end of the match, CM Punk was about to put MJF to sleep. And one of the members of FTR pushed MJF out of the ring to take the bullet. And boy, did he take a bullet. He took a GTS, a coffin drop. No, he didn't take it. He took the death drop and a coffin drop, and CM Punk would pin him for the victory. And I think they did that, before I get ahead of myself, after MJF was shoved out of the way and one of the FTR guys took the bullet for him, MJF went on commentary for a second and he was like, "Hey, you saw that? He's a punk. He didn't want to face me." No, that's not what happened. On the script, they pushed him away so another person can take the bullet, and they made MJF on script feed his ego. But either way, CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin will go on to win that match. But the thing that I'm noticing, we all notice, and that is this. They did that, I believe, they did that to protect MJF's character, because MJF only has 1 or 2 losses in AEW, and they're trying to keep his character, and they're trying to keep him where he is not put over, where Punk is not put over by him too soon, because we don't know who's going to win. But they want to protect his quality. So they put one of the guys in to take the bullet for MJF so we can protect MJF's stock, if you will. Which is brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. But I will say this before I go, in all humor. Tony Schiavone treats MJF like Jim Ross to Triple H. And by the way, I don't know what's going on, but I heard Jim Ross wasn't doing very well, so well wishes to him, and I hope he gets well soon. The other thing I want to say is this. I don't know the situation, but somebody, because I didn't look it up yet, but if you know, someone point out to me what's going on, because there is an issue between Darby Allin and Cora Jade from NXT, the skateboarder, whom some, for some reason, say can't skate. But either way, By the way, I'm loving the push that she's getting in NXT. But either way, someone tell me what's the issue with Darby Allin and Cora Jade? Either way, that was a really great episode of AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash, especially those two moments right there. They were very interesting to me. And I still can't believe there is a 62-year-old man jumping like that. That is amazing. So that's all the time I have for today. Let me know in the comment sections what you think of tonight's broadcast of AEW and this review. And be sure to check out my review from the past on TLC 2010, as well as my thoughts of Stone Cold Steve Austin, RVD, and Trish Stratus, favorite matches from them, which I did for their birthday. All 3 in 1. So be sure to check that out. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, and I'll see you next time.